Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. I saw this post on my subreddit, and I thought it would be interesting to respond to it and give some thoughts, especially since this king who took the time to write this seems like he is in a moment of distress, and why not help? You know, why not help? Why not be helpful? Why not spread some good vibes? Coming from Hair Loss 9000, we have, hi, I know this may be one of the most inappropriate places to ask this, but I figured I would give it a shot since this is a subreddit dedicated to Fantano the person, not just the music reviewer. I'm currently 20 years old, crying in my bed. I have very long and voluminous hair. I get compliments about it all the time. People love to touch it. I treat it well, and it smells good. I decided to start growing it when I was in my first year of high school. Before it, I was an introverted nerd and had 4 friends that talked about Star Wars and Dragon Ball while we all sat in the back of the classroom. During that time, I was letting my hair grow. I decided to take steps into becoming a more social and outgoing person. I made new friends. I discovered new things. I started going clubbing and drinking. All the while, my hair was getting bigger and bigger. And when I reached the last year of high school, I can confidently say I made a full transition from being an introvert to a total extrovert who truly enjoyed hanging out with people at parties. I blossomed, and I have to say that partially I thank my hair for that. Looking at myself in the mirror made me feel so happy, like I finally found something in myself that I loved. At 18, I noticed that I could see the skin on the top of my head through my hair strings, and throughout the years, those gaps in my hair grew and grew. My hairline started receding, and my hair was thinning out. I found out that I have male pattern baldness. Right now, my hairline has receded a bit, and my hair is not as thick as it once was, but it still looks nice enough. I went to the dermatologist and already began using one hair loss treatment thingy every day, but thing is, I feel so unbearably horrified of going bald, of having to shave it all off at one point. I know it's happening. I can see it happening. The treatment only slows it down. I'm in a sincere panic. I owe everything to my hair. I'm supposed to be finishing some uni work right now, but instead I feel so unbelievably crushed that I can't muster any motivation to do so. In my desperation, I've decided to watch some of your videos from the Fantano channel because I sincerely love your humor, and it did help, honestly, haha. But you know, I observed that you also suffer from a form of baldness. Suffer is maybe a bit of an over-exaggeration, and that you charismatically rock the shaved head look, which looks great on you. I started wondering, how did you feel when you first started noticing you were balding? How did you cope with it? I understand that there are way more appropriate people I could be asking this question to, so on and so forth. I'm sorry if this is too much of a personal question. I am honestly just feeling absolutely crippled right now because I feel the one thing that I truly love and accept about myself is slowly being taken away from me, and I can't do anything about it other than to try and slow it down. I guess typing this big ass wall of text here is just me trying to get the frustration and stress out of my system so I can go back to work. Thank you. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. That's heavy. That's quite a bit that you have thrown here into the subreddit. But seriously, but really, I think you are, after reading your story here, even without knowing you, I think you are greatly overestimating the significance of your hair in terms of your ability to come out of your shell and talk with other people and interact with other people. I don't know how many instances there were in your life where, you know, maybe you weren't willing to, or you weren't looking to, or thinking about approaching someone or starting a conversation, but maybe you got a compliment on your hair and that kind of, you know, created an in for you to step into. That could most definitely be the case. But like, think about this. Like, that may have happened, but the thing is, the skills that you gained from those interactions, the confidence that you gained, the ability for you to be outgoing and connect with people, those skills are still there. That ability is still there. It's there whether you have hair on your head or not. I've been a pretty social butterfly for most of my life, and I've been rocking the bald look pretty consistently since about 8th grade. Since junior high school, I have been shaving my head only for a few instances other than a mohawk in high school and just kind of growing my hair out into a little bit of a side part thing in college. Outside of that, I never really did anything other than just kind of shave my head. I always thought hair was kind of annoying and cumbersome, and I didn't want it to get in the way or be having to think about it. Plus, on top of it, I do like the shape of my head. I think if you are going to rock a bald look, you do want a nicely shaped head like this one. I think my head happens to look particularly good bald. I probably could grow a little on top if I really wanted to. I have noticed that when I do grow it back, sometimes it does look a little thinner than it used to, but you know, I got hairs up here. So look, while I guess I don't have the same experience as you or many people in terms of like, I had this amazing head of hair, and then one day I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh no, no, it's being ripped away from me. Yeah, because I've been shaving my head for so long, I didn't really have that experience. That never really happened to me. I mean, when I noticed that maybe my hair up top as I'm transitioning into my 30s is a little thinner than maybe it was when I was 18, I went, okay, well, I mean, I just fucking shave my head every few weeks anyway, so all that's happening now is there's less hair to cut, I guess. With that being said, as somebody who has kind of chosen the bald life actively for most of my existence on this planet, it's never really gotten in the way of me being social with other people, being outgoing, being somebody who could connect with other people, being the type of person who other people want to talk to. It certainly hasn't hurt me in the dating realm. I mean, granted, there are all sorts of people out there who, you know, prefer a head of hair, and that's fine, and that's good. But for every person who is out there who may look at you like, ew, he's bald, there's probably another person who would love to fucking sit on your bald ass head like a chair. There's a lot more to a person than whether or not they have hair on their head. You could have the longest and most luscious and most beautiful hair that anyone has ever seen on the planet, but if you're a total dick and you're an asshole and you're somebody who's disrespectful, or you're not very witty, or you don't kind of put in the effort to take care of yourself. You also don't really have any cool hobbies or passions or interests that other people might see you engaging in and think, oh, that's a really cool thing that they do. It's cool that they're passionate about that. You have virtually nothing going for you outside of this head of hair. I mean, I have a bit of a spoiler alert here for you. You're not going to get many dates. You're not really going to get much attention. You're not really going to have too many friends in your life. And even if that big head of hair does bring in a few, they're probably not going to stay for very long, because, being a good person and being a nice person, being a fun person to be around, being somebody who's, kind of up for anything, who's willing to talk, have a conversation, engage with others is more important than having hair on your fucking head. Like, as you kind of described here earlier, oh, I became this person who came out of my shell and I did this and I did that. Just keep being that person. There's really little to no honest to God stigma around being bald in modern society. Some of the most famous and desirable men out there in media, in Hollywood, so on and so forth, are fucking bald. There's nothing really that weird about being bald or having a chrome dome. It's whatever. And on top of it, the only people in my life, or especially on the internet, who have ever tried to pick on me for it or make me feel bad about it or anything like that are usually just weirdo boy teenagers with anonymous cartoon avatars on fucking Twitter. And who gives a fucking rat's ass what they think? Those aren't the kind of people who you want in your life anyway. Allow those people to exit themselves from your life. If there are love interests who would want to have nothing to do with you because you're bald, allow them to exit from your life as well. Because who would want to be with someone that shallow? Also, who would want to be with someone who doesn't appreciate the functionality of a bald head? Again, more room for sitting. Austin, don't you dare cut this fucking part out. My face is a chair. I just kind of feel bad for you, man. I mean, I get it. It's a change. It's a shock. It's something that you weren't necessarily anticipating. But with that being said, right now you still are exactly the same person you were that in this message you feel like you're mourning him. Oh, he's dead now. He's gone. No, you're still that guy. Most likely there's other stuff to be proud of about yourself right now that you could take pride in. And you know what? If there's not, being as early in your 20s as you are, you have all the time in the world to hone a skill, gain some kind of achievement in a career, get better at being social, up your wardrobe game, something like that. The good news is it's rare that you run across people that have absolutely nothing going for them whatsoever. I firmly believe that everyone has something about them that makes them stand out and makes them special. And you know what? Those things aren't aren't always the same, aren't always consistent for the duration of your entire life, because a lot of people shift and alter. They have a glow up, something like that. Maybe for this period of time, that could have been your hair. And as you move on to this next phase of your life, it could be another thing. Who wants to be known as the fucking hair guy from age 18 to age 78? I would hope over those decades of time, you would pick up something about yourself that would make you a more compelling individual than just the hair on your head. You will manage this. You will get through this. Embrace the baldness when you're ready, I mean, if your hair is looking fine enough to the point where you're happy with it and, maybe the treatments are doing what you want them to do for the time being, go ahead, make the effort. Okay, so that's it. Love you. You're the best. Over here next to my head, here's another video you can check out. Hit that up with the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, music, balding, forever.